Susan LeBlanc, and this is Conversations with the Goodman School of Business. My guest today is Laura Byers. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you for coming. And Laura is the Fund Development Officer at Community Care of St. Catharines.
Right.
And Thorold. Don't want to miss
That's right.
Thorold. Thanks, St.
Don't
Catharines and
forget
Thorold. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with maybe telling us what the Fund Development Officer does. What's your role there at
Certainly.
Community Care?
Well, you know, Susan, it's really about building relationships, enduring relationships with donors, partners, sponsors, to support the growth of the organization's fund development program, but also to support the many ongoing, fundraising initiatives that are happening, and of course, just recently coming off the 5 Days for the Homeless.
Right.
So,
yeah, and 5 Days for the Homeless, for those of you who don't know, is an initiative that happens across the country by universities. And Brock plays a very big part in it and has done for a number of years. Our Business Students Association organizes 5 Days for the Homeless every year. And so what impact does that have?
Oh, tremendous. I mean, the commitment that we see year after year from Brock University is really tremendous. And to witness the student engagement within the community, they're basically ambassadors for us at Community Care. And we are so grateful for that continued support. And they raised an amazing over $7,000. Yeah. So it was a great campaign.
Yeah, and we should tell people how they raise this money and what they do. It's actually for 5 days. It's as the name implies. These students sleep outside and they live their lives as if they were homeless. They have no access to technology. They do have to go to their classes, and they have to, but they can't shower, and they can only eat whatever food is donated to them. It's really quite an experience. We've had some students on who have talked about their experience, but you went a step above and beyond. You actually came out and slept with them one night, just one night.
Well,
but what was that like?
It was really remarkable. It was certainly the highlight of my professional career, and as an employee of Community Care and also a volunteer with Out of the Cold, I can tell you firsthand that the issue of homelessness is real and it is present. And I felt that my involvement would help raise the awareness in hopes that the community would give back. And I can't tell you, I mean, with over 35,000 Canadians on any given night homeless, it really wasn't much of a sacrifice, for me. And it's not easy for the students spending, I think, 120 hours it worked out to be. And in some cases, only stayed 24 hours. It's a daunting task. And it really put homeless life into perspective for me, when you're giving up everything. And so I think we can all make a difference in our community, and even if it's a small contribution, I think every little bit matters. So it was very powerful.
Absolutely. And I think homelessness is one of those things that people can easily pretend doesn't exist. And I think when we find out it is real, and it's real in our own community, there's something you can do about it too.
Absolutely. And I think for me, one of the things was, people were asking me, what was it like? What was the experience like? And what I remember was the comfortability, Susan, of these 19 sleepers, all who I didn't know, and what a testament it was to all of them, because how the bond grew with all of these students. And I arrived at after work a few days after the campaign had actually started, and it was great to see the camaraderie and how we all worked together, and the number of individuals, friends, family, friends of Community Care that stopped by to lend a hand or to bring a donation, whether it was food. It was really spectacular, and we ended up lining up in a row up against the wall at Terrell Hall. And, as it got darker, we decided we'd, kind of huddle together. And one of the sleepers brought a guitar. And I love to sing. So the next thing you know, we were singing and enjoying the night. And finally, we got all tucked in. And what I remember is how silent, how quiet it was. You could hear a pin drop. And then the rain started. And I remember as I was getting tucked in, we all said goodnight, and I met a homeless man who came and spent some time with me, and there's no words to describe what that was like. And I got up about 2 o'clock in the morning, And I looked along the row, and there was a picnic table at the very end, and overflowing with food and water and Timbits and
things that people had donated,
right? And I couldn't help but think, how many homeless people will get up in the middle of the night or at any time of the day and will not be able to reach out for that special treat to fill their tummy, and so that was very powerful for me.
Yeah, for sure. And I know all the students who participate feel exactly the same way, and it's such a great program that brings awareness, and we're so glad that you were able to spend some time with our students, and I know it meant a lot to them to have you come and be there helping them get their message out, and I know that they feel wonderful about giving to this cause and bringing awareness. Are there ways our students can get involved with community care other than 5 days for the homeless?
Absolutely. We would welcome any inquiry with open arms. I would suggest reaching out to either myself, Laura Byers, or through our website, or they can contact Eden Ewert, who is our volunteer coordinator, and she does a great job of coordinating over 200 volunteers a week.
Wow.
Combined with Thorold and St. Catharines. So certainly there are many opportunities and ways that they can get involved, whether it's a food sort at our warehouse or whether it's just coming in and volunteering their time. So we would be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, and that's true, I'm sure, for anyone who wants to get involved, whether they be a student or a member of the community.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
We would love it.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Laura, for coming by.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And again, our gratitude to Brock University and to the many dedicated students. It means the world to us.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to this edition of Conversation. And hopefully we will see you again soon. Take care.